know everybody.
For you,
Everybody-
so I'm like way off on the mic.
I bet everybody's just like, oh man, I was so sick of that stupid van after all those AWSI interviews, and here we are back in the van. But we did get some wood paneling here, some custy upgrades that you guys didn't see. So just getting the studio ready for next year, really, just putting the work in now, so we're ahead for all the amazing content from next year's AWSI.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna hold off for a whole year. I think we did enough.
Yeah, everybody's over it. They're like, no more F spoils for 2025 or 26, really, at this point. Let's just wait till summer.
There has to be something exciting that we want to, chat about. Right?
You don't seem very excited right now.
I'm excited. I mean, you haven't been foiling in like months. So what the hell are you going to talk about?
It's less than months. It's like 3.5 weeks. It is painful, and I'm struggling with it. And foil withdrawal is real. Like, you guys should be all aware of it. And I think this should just be a PSA about foil withdrawal, and that you need to like make sure you're weaning yourself off of that. Because if you crash hard, I mean, your body can't take it. You go from foiling all the time, you take that away. It's like your body doesn't even know what to do without foiling. You just start. I was like pushing around shopping carts just in circles. What's that have to do with anything? I don't even know. I was just trying to fill the void, find the flow. I was looking for the seams in the parking lot to try and keep the flow going, and I couldn't do it. So, anyways, hopefully get on the water soon. I'll see you in 10 days or so. We'll hopefully get some towing in.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I've been super busy getting my whole team ready, training them so I don't have to work ever again.
Oh, it's a great idea. Then we can foil more. Back to the addiction.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all of this foil stuff is on my phone anyway. So I'll still have the same customer service. I'll just get other people to package my foils out, ship it out. Hopefully everything else runs okay, and I'm just going to surf all day.
Perfect. You're like the next Amazon. It's going to be great. So, hey, well, you've been in the water. Since you've been in the water and I haven't, what you been doing, dude? I know you got some new foils you've been riding on.
So I put like a little snippet out on the Instagram yesterday. I'm like, hey guys, ask questions about, what you want to know. 98% of it is like, what's up with these F4 Mantas?
Oh yeah. Those guys, Chris and Memo are like they're always
Memo?
building the Memo.
I think it's Memo.
It's Memo. That's why I said Memo. Well, because finding Nemo. I love it. Anyways,
No, but Nemo is with an N, not an M.
I know, but it's just like the association. Look, when you have ADHD, you do weird shit. Just moving on, okay? So these guys are so stoked about the stuff they're creating that they're really letting us see it, and it's really cool to watch. I mean, it's like an open sourced creative, foil brand at this point. So yeah, I mean, tell me about the Mantas, dude. I mean, I know they showed up in Maui. People were riding them there. We've obviously been seeing pictures of them and stuff, and talked to Chris a good bit about what was happening. Obviously, we're frothing to see what some surf foils from F4 feel like after getting on the Orca and being like, wow, this is what their downwind feels. This is how surfy the downwind foil is. What's the surf foil gonna feel like? So, what's the surf foil feel like, dog?
I've been holding back because I don't want to say too much. And I think maybe saying nothing is probably better than saying something,
Story of my life, Dylan. Say nothing.
No,
say too much and regret it. But anyways,
speaking of this, evolution of the F4 and these guys, someone came in to buy a setup yesterday, and I'm like, and I gave him the mast, and the case is all floppy, and I'm like, just be careful. Like, they make amazing foils, not great mast covers, And I'm like, just trust the foil. And then he came back, he got the 75, but he like regretted it. And then he came back to get the 85 because I'm like, I like the 85 because it's badass. So he came back to return it and do a swap. And I wasn't in the shop, and Nisha's like, I can't find it. They all say TE. I don't know where the AX is, mass, and they're all packaged. I'm like, just ignore what the covers say. They're just putting covers on whatever. because they're getting foils out the door.
Hey, you're lucky to have a cover for that foil.
You're lucky that you've got that mast. Okay, forget about what the cover says.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
I think it's awesome because I mean they're running with it, so it's been really great. It's been interesting working with them, that's for sure. And
I mean they're a small, hungry company, and it's cool watching them froth. Oh man, I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I've spent thinking about that foil. Not really the five, really the 640, right?
look
530. Look at
look
that
at
thing.
it.
Jesus,
It is wild, dude. This thing, like
it
the
is a
shape
wild
of
looking.
it is. I don't know. It's just you look at it and you're like, what the hell? What is that thing?
Yeah,
Like,
super
look at
interesting.
it.
Well, he from when we were talking about it, I mean, what he did was and I don't want to like say the wrong thing here, but the idea was to take kind of the magic that they'd found in that foil section that they'd apply to the orca, and that's giving them this. They found this kind of foil section that's allowing them to kind of be a little bit of that magic bullet where you're getting incredible low end, but you're not picking up shit tons of drag, right? They found kind of a middle ground so you get the top end and the low end. Um, and then when you add the decreased drag and efficiency of these skinny masks, which you mentioned the 85, I mean, 85 to me is such a step up from the 75 skinny. And it's stiffer. It gives you so much more range in your turning. I think if you are somebody who's going out there and you want to be cranking turns out in the ocean and that's part of your game is you'd like to be able to get over on a rail and make a really nice turn. There's no doubt that 85 is just insane, and you should have it in your quiver immediately because it kind of runs almost even a little bit longer than 85, so you just have all of this play, and the drag's still not there, right? As long as you stay high on the mast, it's the same as the 75. It's like no drag. But anyways, 75 great mast to get into it with. Cannot screw it up. Doesn't matter if you bury it to the board or you've got like an inch of your mast in the water, like it's all the same, it's all skinny, right? Whereas like the other ones have kind of some variation in taper. So they're both great. But using that section, he was applying it to this and then trying to enhance the low end even more, knowing that he was going to lose glide, and then give it a exceptional roll. And from what you showed me just there, I mean, in the pictures we saw, that's what it is, right? It's that section and
Walt,
then aggressive roll. It's going to be awesome, dude.
Walt,
What?
I'm supposed to talk about the foil. You haven't even tried it.
Well, you won't talk. You just said you didn't want to say anything. I was just saying it looks cool. Oh,
No,
God, we're gonna
on the
get,
forums.
we're totally,
I'm gonna get
we're,
there.
we're totally gonna get. Somebody's gonna be like, God, would that Walt guy just shut up? You get one of those, what, every like 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
2 days, whatever.
No, that's not true. No.
So you gotta tell us now?
All right. So I'll tell you. I'm gonna start off with the 75 and the 85 skinny mast. I didn't have enough because I sold out of them, so I was using the 13 millimeter, which is their because this thing has been going so fast. They've renamed everything. Some things came out with the old logos, some come out with the new logos. So it was the 75 TE, and then it was the skinny, and then it was the 13 millimeter TE. But the 13 millimeter mast now is called RC, which is rider control, I think. That's the 13 millimeter mast. And then the 11 millimeter mast is the AX. And they're both the TE construction, which is the ultra high modulus, whatever. So they both have the same construction. The 13 millimeter is stiffer because it's thicker. And I was using the 85 RC, which is the 13 millimeter mast, for a few days. It felt amazing. Really stiff, really fun, winging it around, like winging. And I didn't do a downwinder on it. And I've always done downwinders on 75 masts. Because I didn't have one, I grabbed the 85 AX, which is the 11 millimeter, and I did a downwinder 2 days in a row. I don't know why I'd go short.
That's exactly how I felt because there was just so little efficiency loss in going from the 75 to the 85 as far as like how the drag felt, and that
But
why would I go down?
I don't think it's stiffer though.
Well, I have a
The
bad
75.
comparison. I had that whatever prototype one that was like not as stiff. So it doesn't matter. Point is, I think it feels really good and really stiff. Maybe it is the same stiffness. I think he was telling me it tested stiffer because of
Really?
I mean, I'm kind of repeating because that's what he told me, but because of the way they, whatever, it's uh 13 or 16 at the very top, 13, 12, then down to like 11, right? And like same thing with the cord on it is wider and then tapering down. Either way, I'm with you in that it feels really good, especially as long as you're up in the upper half of the mast, like you don't feel a drag difference, right? Which is the big thing.
Yeah. Um. So the Manta, I've taken it out 3 days now. I went out this morning and I lost my GoPro. Like,
How many
it's the second
GoPros?
time I've used it. I hate taking cameras with me, and then I finally do, and I'm gonna go snorkeling. I think I can find it. It's a mile offshore at the reef, but I'll get it. I was with the tow boogie. Anyway,
How's my
I
tow boogie
have not
doing,
tried this.
Mister?
It's doing good. It's great. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of
All right,
fun.
Manta, sorry.
I haven't tried the 530, so I've been on the 635. So I'm comparing that to like the 685 Orca. I thought they were going to go lower aspect. It's still like a 9 aspect, right? So it's not still high aspect, but what they achieved with the Orca and how well it turns and surfs, they don't need to go that low. Like with this 8.99 aspect, it is so easy to roll over and carve and whip around. It is so, because it's got all that low end and like thickness in this front part, and then it just totally thins out, and it's just the way that the tips kind of whip around and all the low end that it's got in the center there. It's pretty crazy.
How's how's your stability and like obviously you're a really high level rider. Is it like do you feel like you're having to like really lean on like the kind of apex of your skills to manage it as far as like turning and stuff? Because the Orca is pretty chill, right? But when you get down to that lower aspect, it starts to, maybe that roll's getting aggressive. When you see that really aggressive roll, sometimes foils like that'll feel like they just want to go to one side or the other, and it's hard to keep them centered.
No, it didn't feel like that. And I was surprised at the amount of low end that I'm getting out of it.
That's what you told me when we talked the first time, which I was concerned about with that size, but crazy.
I don't think like when I'm getting up, I don't think it has the same low end as the Orca, as the 685. Obviously, it's a little bit smaller, but when you are on a bump, it's got a very similar low end, and you can kind of pump, like grunt your way out of almost anything. Like
that same
it felt
low
very
end
easy
engagement.
to pump around. Yeah.
I felt something kind of similar when we were.
I'm on the short 135.
The short 135, yeah. But did you send the new tail with it?
No, I don't have any new tails.
I was gonna say from riding both the X, the Code X, and the Flight Lab Flux this summer, they both, I mean, being in that same kind of range, right, 8.5, 9, whatever. They had a similar thing where I felt it was really tough, and maybe it has to do with the aspect ratio, right? Like it just doesn't have, like it's producing lift, but it can't project the lift as well, right? Like it doesn't give you much glide when you get it, so it's not helping you push forward as much. Because like I felt the same thing on those where it was like really tough getting it out of the water for the size of the foil I was on, because I was on like an 800 or a 900 or something. But then once I was up, man, the low end, it was the same thing. The low end felt crazy, like it was way better than what I felt when I was popping up. And maybe that has to do with the, just the way the power's delivered, like once you're in flow and can carry the glide versus like trying to like ollie it up out of the water. It's just interesting that they're all kind of exhibiting that same thing, right? Because I had that same feeling on those where it was like, man, the low end felt great when I was up, but it was just like getting it out of the water was tough.
Yeah, I'm like trying to compare the Code X to this Manta. I can't, because I mean that it's not even in the same size range, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
you can't compare the two. A
I'd have to try to
635
be
to
on
a
like a
850.
Manta 800. There's no way, you know? So
Well,
I have
their
no idea how
bigger
they
sizes are
compare in
coming.
that
You'll
size
know
range, but
in 6 months.
yeah.
Yeah, bigger sizes will come. So is that the tow rig? Is that the tow rig for the season?
I think so. It's also I haven't foil drived it, right? I have not put a foil drive on the F4 yet. I'm just foil driving the North and the code stuff. So also I'm on my tow board on the vert and that 85 skinny mass on this like small surf foil with a tow boogie. Like it just blows my mind just the way that you can like whip that thing around. And I'm sure it is the Manta. That's why on the forums and stuff I'm being a little bit particular. I don't want to say too much because everyone knows what it's going to be. And so some people like I'm getting so many DMs about like, "Hey, what's this? How's it going? Like you're the only person I can talk to. What's going on? When are they coming?" And I'm like, it is everything that you think it is. Like, come on. Like I don't know
I'm
what
so
else to
happy.
say.
I'm so happy. Well, I kind of had that feeling as this journey was happening. I mean, the moment we started talking to those guys, they were like, "Don't worry, surf foils are coming." And within a week, we had some images we looked at, and the whole time we're just like, "Oh, please, just let this be what I want it to be. Like, let it be like a smaller version of the Orca and rip and turn and do all those things, right?" But
Yeah.
to be fair, everybody's foils are getting better. The new Codex is totally the same feeling I had about writing code. I was like on the S's, and they put out the X, and it's like you feel that thing, and you're like, oh my God, this is everything I wanted it to be. So, the whole industry is moving things forward, but this F4 stuff is just so fun and exciting. And the feels are cool and they're unique. And I think that's why everybody's frothing. And well, whatever. This is an industry of frothers, dude. If we're not psyched about some gear that feels like unique and different, then what's the point?
And they're unique and different. So
We're definitely
don't be
unique and different.
surprised when you receive a mast that says something different than it is. If it's
Yeah,
what they said it is, it is.
exactly. Like don't question the creative genius. Just take your gear, be patient. At
Yeah.
least you're
I
not
mean,
on a
be
wait list
be
for a
happy
year and a
you've got
half,
something.
right? Like think of 7 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, Mike's Lab play. Like if you wanted small gear that's high end and whatever race stuff, I mean you gotta wait, right? Like this is stuff that right now you can order, right, Dylan? If you wanted some of this gear, you can call. You can get on Kite Puerto Rico and One Water Sports right now. Put it in the cart, be at your doorstep by 5 o'clock. That was a lie. Not by 5 o'clock.
Almost. All the
Depends where you
all the
live.
orca
If you
stuff,
live in
yes. The
Ocean Park.
mantas the mantas are on their way, you know. It's going to be another couple of weeks
Oh, I
for
know. I'm
the
saying, but you
635
can
and the
get gear.
530, but it's probably faster to get it from me.
Mm-mm. I just think the point is like we're not sitting around talking about some gear that we might get to ride in 2027. We're talking about gear that we're touching now. The prototypes are coming. Shit's in production. It's flowing. Like it's flowing, and people are going to get the gear by summer.
Like how long has it been since the orca kind of blew up and everyone in Maui is riding it? And like how long has that been?
Let's
Three
see. It was
months?
August 21st at 3:47 p.m.
Are you? Is that like your
I think
screensaver? The
I mean,
day
yeah, that was like when I that was
when
that
it
was
changed.
when I dropped Frank's board and the Orca on the beach at Ka'a, and then it just like everybody wrote it and then ordered them basically. No, I don't know, but yeah, to your
So
point, this is 3 months old, right? 3 months old of
and then they're like,
knowing that this
"Hey,
gear is
we
out there.
want," and people are like, "Hey, we want a surf foil," and then we already have them, and they're like, what we dreamed of." Like that's crazy.
It is crazy. Well, oh God, I can't wait to ride
It
that thing.
is wild, man.
I love you like a brother. I'm so happy for you that you got to ride that foil before me, but I also am angry deep down and sad. So I might even just see if Holly can just like stay here with the dogs for a few days, and I'm gonna fly down to Puerto Rico just so I can ride that thing. Oh, that was like some ASMR right there for everybody at home. They're just like, oh, he's opening it. I just heard it. Oh, the Dorado. Yeah, I don't even know if we could talk about that thing.
Well, too bad.
It's already being talked about.
I mean, I
So
heard somebody talking about it. So
yeah, I'll talk about it. I think it's rad.
for me, I don't know where this sits for me, right? Because the Orca already
We'll talk
does
about what
the
it is first,
downwinding
because
thing.
nobody knows what you're holding.
I know. I'm getting there, Walt. Could you just have some patience with my train of thought for a second?
Oh, it's just hard.
God damn.
You need a software update. Getting spinning wheels,
A
bro.
lot's going on. A lot's going on. Okay. So I want to talk about the Orca and the Manta for me. Like, I can downwind the Manta. It's gonna be sick.
Prove it. No, I hear
Like,
it's gonna go.
There's gonna be days that I'm gonna downwind the Manta, and I think it's gonna be sick, and it's way more surfy. It's like when I learned how to downwind on the Code S.
It changes the feel.
Like
totally.
that. It was just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm downwinding this. And I was just like, blowing my mind. And that's the Orca kind of does that. This is just on another level, right? The Manta, how it how you can roll it over and how quick and responsive it is. And then the Dorado is a higher aspect. So it's on the other side. It's like a 14 or something like that.
I think it was like 14.5. Yeah, so I got to ride it. I had one small day.
You did get to ride it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was just waiting till
645.
Yep, that's the one I have.
Oh shit! All right, well,
they sent it to me
could
a month
you tell
ago.
us about it?
Well, no worries, buddy. So I rode it in some lighter conditions the first day, and I was pretty blown away. Like, it was blowing hard. I went out with it to go try it, right? Classic gorge. Little cloud comes in, wind drops 10 miles an hour. So I go from being like in the 30s to like the low 20s, which is still fine. So I had to work a little bit with it, but it performed incredibly similar on the low end to the 685. So I had like crazy low end. The glide was I think it was kind of noticeably I had maybe a little bit more glide and efficiency to it, but it definitely I didn't have that same like snappy surf roll feel. It was a little bit more like the Code R's, where you gotta kind of like it's more of that longboard feel. It doesn't have that
intentional turn.
Exactly. Like there's like a delay. And I think that's the Orca. The Orca, there's like almost no delay. It's like a surf foil. Like you go to turn it, it's turning, right? With these bigger foils that are carrying a lot of glide, sometimes you kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna turn. You gotta like kind of start turning it, and then it's gonna come like right after you start turning it. And the same thing. There's like a delay almost where you have to be more intentional with how you lay into it. And you've got to make these like swooping banking turns opposed to yawing like twisting snapping turns, right? Like they want to carve like a plane or like a glider, right? Like it's going to want to turn wide. So I think when Chris and I talked about it, I was like, this is an incredible foil. If this was in anybody else's catalog of foils, it would probably be very sought after and one of the best foils in their platform, if not the best foil they've made, right? Because it's incredible. But is it different enough in what it delivers from the Orca? Probably not, right? And so I don't know where this is a foil they made. I don't know if they're going to produce it or not. I don't want to speak for the company, but I know that they're looking to build race gear. This is one of many things they're going to build to go really, really fast. I anticipate they're going to go further and push more aspect into it and stuff and get it to go even faster. But I don't know. Guido would be the person to talk to who maybe had a chance to ocean ride it where you can really get top speed, because I was in the river. I think we need that. It's like you and I will both need to go out, and you're on the 685 and I'm on that, and we just watch it, mile for mile or something. But it's got to be faster. It's smaller. It's got glide. It's got less aspect ratio, less drag.
Here's a voice note from Guido telling us about the Dorado.
So when we talk about the Dorado, it's a similar design to the Orca 685, but more high aspect, 14.5 aspect ratio, I think. So we're getting a more specifically and downwinder foil, more glide and more fast too. The low end is a little bit less than the 685, but it's a little bit small too. So, but then the top end is way better. Also, it's surprisingly how good it turns. So when we try it with Chris, we are like, wow. And we don't expect that is good as a turning, but then it's a super fine foil too. So we are finishing the tuning, and that foil is gonna be ready soon, I think. It's more an specifically downwind foil, but the Orca was the same. The Orca, we built it with Chris, we designed it for be a downwind, specifically downwind foil, and now everybody's using it for everything, and everybody love it. It's not, you can use it for whatever you want, and you're gonna like it. So hopefully it happened the same with the Dorado. We're gonna see. I know it's a little bit faster, so that's already good.
So you see what Guido said? We don't know, but you guys just heard it, and that's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's gonna say it's fucking radical. It is. I know he's been surfing it a bunch too. So that guy, I mean, he's a mutant. He's just a mutant. He's just so good at everything. Like, it's unfair. I mean, the guy's he's just one of those next level surf foil adapting athletes. That's like everything he gets on, he just styles. So it's like I don't even know if you could trust him. He's just such an animal, dude.
Everybody's, so everyone kind of came out with these surf foils, right? Axis launched a surf foil. It looks like it's called the Surge, and it's a high aspect. It's in the 9.5 aspect ratio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's an in between an Art V2 Spitfire. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's probably going to make their Spitfire obsolete, is what it's going to do.
Well, Spitfire's been out a long time.
When I look at the Spitfire, it looks like it looks like an oval. They're kind of round. They're kind of ovalish, their shape. So never tried it, but in
cool.
true Axis hype fashion, they're doing a really good job of marketing it, and maybe it is pretty sick. I mean, that's if you can get the low end and get the tips as thin as the Manta, then you can have a really good surf foil.
Yeah, I think that
at a higher aspect.
I think that it's all about how it feels and performs. And I'm sure it's just, like you said, it's a design thing, right? It's as the sections evolve, as we learn how to deal with like what these different pieces of the foil are giving us from a drag, from a lift, from a turning, reaction standpoint, then they're going to be able to adjust the profiles. It's just like the Orca, right? Like, who thought you could make a 12.5 aspect foil that turns like a 9.5 aspect foil, right? Like, I just didn't see it. Nothing I'd ever written over like 10.5 aspect you could turn for shit. Not a single foil basically that I'd ever been on. So it just shows that there's adaptation to current designs and things that we think are norms around foil section, around aspect ratio, they may not hold true, right? To your point, maybe the best surf foil in the world is going to end up being a 10 aspect instead of like an 8 aspect, right? Because there's some magic in the section that allows it to do that. And so, yeah, I think it's all this means is foiling's getting better, guys. This is exciting.
Well, we thought the 120 from Lift was like a badass surf foil, but it didn't really turn. It was just like fast, efficient. It was definitely ahead of its time, but now that you look at it, it was like not a badass surf foil. It's really hard to turn that thing at a 10 aspect.
But right? we toe foiled the shit out of that.
Great foil. Yeah. Lots of lift. Like it was great, but you can't
too much when you hit speed, compare. You can't compare to where we are today. I mean like it's
like shit. The Orca is a 12.5. That's a 10. I mean, the Orca turns night and day to that Lift 120
with more low end, right? With more top end. Like it's
crazy.
It just goes back to the conversation we keep having, which is like
I think when we keep on saying that 120 is still relevant, it's not.
It's not anymore. It was until the Orca.
It's not until August 4th at 10 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah. You have to go back and play that clip. I'm not sure what. I do have it written down. Hold on a second. August 20th, 3:47 p.m. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, anyways, cool stuff. Foiling's rad. Go buy some gear. Order some F1. Why not? Do it. Life's short.
F1, also, F4.
F4. Ooh. I don't want to talk about that yet, though. But there's exciting stuff coming from F1 in the future someday.
Man, there's lots of exciting stuff.
Well, actually, let's do a podcast on like why there are 3 brands named F something.
F1.
But why
There's an
F? What is
F2.
the F? Is it force? Is it foil? Is it fast? Is it fuck my life? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, it's just interesting. For dyslexic people like me, I will continue to call F4 F1 1 out of 10 times. Just as my dad has called me.
Do you still
my
have time to
sisters
talk?
Theoretically, for another. Hold on a second. Yeah, I can keep talking.
But I'm trying to change over my eFoil school to Foildrive with that new, Fusion, because it's got more runtime, it's more powerful, it's more versatile. So I'm trying to do that, and I took a couple guys out yesterday. Took them on a Lift X, Lift 4 eFoil, and then the Foildrive Fusion, and I put the Fusion on my north mast, eFoil mode, so I had to tape the whole mast. A non-high powered motor and a 2-blade prop, and just letting everybody know
this is not ideal.
Do it. It just he was like 210 pounds on it was like the 1080 SF on the 100-liter KT Super K mid length, which is should be a great setup, and it would have been awesome. I think it needs to be on that high powered motor to like get the power output that it's actually able to achieve. So if anybody's thinking about it, don't do that. It's not helpful, and it's not. It was a really bad. I was like, I'm gonna convert you guys to Foildrive, and like halfway through, they're like, this isn't really doing anything. They're like, and I'm like, oh shit, I just ruined them.
I just ruined such a bad. I should test my hypothesis first before I hand it to a bunch of potential customers.
We did, but I tried it on a huge board with Oscar and a big foil, and it worked great. And
it was a huge board.
It was just like, it had like that overturn of like just not enough volume and just not enough foil, that it made a huge difference that we didn't have that much power output. So anyway, I am excited to continue to do it. The theory is good.
It needs to be paired with the high power motor.
Yeah, for sure. And I was dreaming last night of like how to convert. Like I am changing all my eFoils to the Foildrive Fusion because I like the compatibility and just be able to get someone that's more advanced to like try a different board, maybe do more foil assist stuff. So I was dreaming last night about how I can get a lot more people into foiling with the Foildrive application. It's not as straightforward for my instructors. It's a little bit more, a little bit more mechanical, right? Moving it from one board to the other and then changing foils. If, with the eFoils, it's great. You just throw in a battery, take it like it is. It's always the same. But then they're a one use case, right? I can only use that board to eFoil, and that's it. And I have people coming in like this group yesterday. They eFoil with us every year, and they're like, "Hey, do you have the new Lift 5s? Do you have a smaller board? Do you have the Lift X?" I'm like, "Fuck." There's no way I can put them on anything more high performance in an eFoil setting if I'm buying eFoils, right? Because they're so expensive. Like, I'm not going to have a 5-foot eFoil board to teach lessons for 15 grand just in case an advanced guy comes by. But I can put them on a 60-liter mid-length on a Fusion with a different foil, right? So I think that's where I'm excited about using the Fusion.
Well, the price point, I think again with Foildrive, their whole thing is, look, I'm going to give you this piece of equipment you definitely need if you want to eFoil, but I'm going to guess that you've already got the other pieces of equipment you need, which is the foil and the mast and the board. So it's like, it's the entry point, right? It's like I can get into eFoiling. I already have a Foildrive. Now I can maybe, it's kind of how I think about it. I've got a Foildrive. I have eFoils. I never really use them. My partner, she's like 100 pounds and 5 foot. This will be perfect, right? So I could set one up and have it on a board permanently. It is a high performance eFoil in that it's lighter, it's smaller, and you're able to put it on more useful components. So it's kind of like to
Right.
your point of like wanting that step in between. It's there, but you got to be smart about it. Like you can fuck it up by not pairing it with the right stuff, and it's got to have the high power motor. I mean, that was not.
I know that the application. I'm
Because
sure.
when they take off,
I mean,
right?
I'm just
It's
not.
like, yeah, there's got to be some like there's a graph out there that should go like on this screen, but like the power, because the drag is like here on on a foil drive, and so power, it's like as soon as you get across that threshold, it just goes boom, and then now you got all the power in the world, right? As soon as you can get on foil, but if you're just a little short to get on foil, it can feel like you're miles from it. When the reality is, man, if just again 10 more liters or a little bit more foil or just obviously the high power motor, and that thing might have felt like a race car.
I'm not technical enough, and I didn't actually ask, or I haven't contacted Foildrive or anything, but I'm sure that there's something in there's obviously a reason
You're the
why it's got
expert,
more
dude. They're
power
tuning
output.
in.
It doesn't the non-high powered motor V1 just doesn't have the tech and the push that the unit
no
is able to
balls.
give it. So I'm like,
No cojones.
no,
Yeah,
no
it doesn't.
So
No,
so
as
don't do that.
yeah, I mean, I got the high power. I can only imagine the high power motor would definitely do it,
Dude,
especially a 3-blade prop.
It's only 4 pounds, like 4.4 pounds heavier than a Max.
And that's all battery, pretty much, right? Yeah, it's all battery.
Pretty much. I mean, the unit's
The
a bit
housing's
bigger. It's got
bigger, yeah.
it's got tilt, like tilt sensibility to it as well. Like you tilt it, the motor turns off, and you can turn that off. The new remote's pretty sick. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk about with Foildrive, but
I can't wait
wanted
to Foildrive again.
But I wanted to, let people know, don't use the Fusion with a non-high powered motor if you expect to get what they're advertising out of it, because it's not. It's not going to do it.
I mean,
and that's
again,
it.
you haven't talked to them as a dealer, but do they send any recommendations when they send it out? They're like, please only use with a high power motor. They should.
Yeah, probably. I had this look.
It's okay. It's the same way I would have done it. I would
Long
have just opened it
cable.
and tried it out. Yeah.
Well, I did try it. Anyway, I just had this long cabled V1, the one that doesn't, like, the cable doesn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's sitting there. No one's going to buy it. Like the moment the new ones came out with the removable cable, I had that stator for an e-foil application for somebody. And the unit now comes with the removable cable that it's $70 for the cable. I was like, never, like, it's impossible to sell that. So I'm like, well, finally I can at least use it. And now I can't.
Well, so what do you think? I mean, obviously Foildrive's got the new controller. What else is kind of coming? Like, what do you see this doing for foil drivers this winter? I mean, I don't know. It's not obviously people foil drive year round. For me, foil driving is a winter thing. When the waves come, that's when my foil drive comes out. So, what am I going to be riding and what am I doing?
I don't know. I have no idea what this Fusion is going to do. Is it going to murder the e-foil market? I don't think so. There's a lot of clients, like I've sold some X's to, not X's, but the Lift 5. And the way that thing clicks together, I mean, there are some people that will not like want to deal with a foil drive at all. Right? And I think
Hey, now are the brands making are they making integrative masts at foil drive height, any of them yet? Like for the low prop?
They do, but all of them are these like aluminum ones. Actually, Armstrong makes theirs at an e-foil height in their carbon integrated, carbon molded pod. And I think that's a great idea. That would make everything that I do extremely expensive. Right?
It would, but when you talk about this idea, could it take over the e-foil? It's like that's how you do it. It's like it needs to be paired with something probably integrated, and that's where it all comes seamless. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. It would have to be like this carbon integrate. I mean, they've got the aluminum integrated masts, right? But it's still got the pod on it. But at least you don't have to tape the whole thing up. I prefer to tape my carbon mast. I just can't deal with aluminum. I just don't know why. I was thinking about my e-foil fleet with North, and I'm like, I don't want aluminum integrated mast. I just don't want it. I prefer to just tape it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it's
I
tough
know that the
in salt
taping
water.
for sure, there's definitely some kind of, performance inhibitor there with the tape. Maybe it causes air bubbles, the way the water goes over it. I don't know. I do an amazing tape job. I'm a great taper. I feel like it's probably going to be just as similar to a carbon integrated mask. So,
Well, and the difference too is when we're talking about e-foiling,
no.
e-foiling the motor's in the water, right? And I think that's where the difference is. Like when you
Yeah.
tape your cable on a
Yeah,
foil
yeah.
drive, it's only there for launch, basically. Right? It's not really in the water.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
this
yeah.
is meant to like sit with the majority of your mass in the water. So obviously there's more impact from the tape and the drag. I think integrated masks for this kind of application probably make more sense if you're trying to like really use it as an e-foil. But either way, look, we're looking at more ways for people to be foiling, more ways to make your gear
Yeah.
useful and like cross utilize parts if you're a foil driver. I don't know. I'm excited to try one. It'll be cool because I like the lift X. I don't like e-foils. They're annoying to me because they're so heavy and they're just it's
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
much power, it's too
No, it
much
is.
weight. It's like I don't need this because I'm a good enough rider that I understand the
Well, and
application. This will be fun. This I
but
think will be more like that
you're a
lift
foiler.
X.
You like this tinkering thing, and a lot of these foilers are like tinkerers. But if someone is not a tinkerer,
Like system is
there's a lot of
unbeatable. I mean, for
for sure. So
ease of use for a consumer, that's what a great consumer product looks like, right? They brought in product engineers who don't have a job in Cam and them who weren't in the foil space, and they said, okay, how do we make this so user friendly? And look where they ended up, right? And I think it is probably the most
yeah,
elegant system out there,
yeah,
but it's expensive and it's not very versatile.
yeah. No, exactly. So there's a plus there, and then I don't know. We'll see how they do. I'm excited to explore it this year a little bit with my team and see how we can integrate Foildrive a lot more into our teaching atmosphere and see how it can, blend between wing lessons and the e-foils and getting people into surfing and stuff. And we didn't really have that because the foil drives that I had were for surfing. The Max could do the same thing, but now that the Fusion is kind of for that and I can use it in my e-foil application, I've got some, like, it feels like some spared up cash because that's when I'm actually going to utilize it versus a foil drive just sitting there in case of I need to use a foil drive. It felt useless. So now that I do have them and I am using them on a regular basis as my e-foil unit, and we do a lot of e-foiling, I'm excited to explore it within my other disciplines, if that makes sense, right?
Dude, 100%. What about the controller? So I've seen pictures and I saw it at the trade show, but I hadn't actually had a chance to use it yet. You got it right there. That'd be sick. You just held it up and showed me. But should we all be
So
buying the new
stupid.
controller? We should probably buy the new controller, right? Like if you have the old one, is the new one worth it? Because I mean, it's not that expensive, and if it's got, I mean, what's the deal? Why is it better?
I
So I
don't
just
know.
buy one because it's new. Is that why I buy it? You're not helping me out here, buddy. I'm trying to hand you a layup. You're shooting a half court shot.
I don't know. It's
All
got
right.
like the screen is better. The throttle feels like the trigger feels a little bit stiffer.
Maybe
It's a
brakes
bit
less.
heavier.
Maybe they dealt with the trigger
The
braking
throttle
issue.
actually probably the trigger. It's got it double spring, so the trigger feels like it's a little bit further away. Like it got a second to get used to it because I feel like my finger is a little bit more extended. The foil drive is kind of like it was always right here. It sits a little bit further up, so now you're like kind of up here. It's got 5 gears, so you can on demand you can click it down, and when you pull the trigger in all the way on gear 1, it's like 55% of the throttle, and then 65, 75, 85, 95. And then if you hold the center button and the throttle, it goes all the way up to 100. I don't know what that extra 5% is doing, really.
Boost mode where they they always show it when you're doing your settings too, right? Like it has that that
yeah.
boost mode.
I'm probably not the best person to talk about because I didn't really read the manual and I try to figure it out as I go. I don't know if like what else the remote does, honestly.
See, this is why you're a good person for people to call when they want gears, because like you're gonna do exactly what we did. You're gonna open it, you're gonna run into the wall 5 times, and you're gonna break some shit, and you're gonna figure it out, and then you're gonna call the guy and get him to explain it to you, and then they're gonna call you with the same thing you just went through. Because instead of just reading it like a smart person, you're gonna be a dummy like me, and you're just gonna fuck it up. But that's why I call you, and then you tell me the dummy answer, and then I'm a better foiler. So if you want to be a better foiler, call Dylan because he's a dummy. just like you.
I figured out all the settings. I was like stuck in the menu setting for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what the? And I figured it out. Yeah. So if I was like just on my Foildrive Max like you are, I don't know if you need the new remote. If eventually your remote's going to die, right? Because all those V2 remotes are going to die.
I'm on
I've
my
had a lot
third
of
one.
warranties from them. So yeah, eventually you're going to have the new one and hopefully it lasts longer and it's better, it's more durable. So in that sense, I think it makes sense to have an upgrade. For the usability standpoint of like what you're using it for, I don't know. I've never used any gears. I'm at 100% throttle or not, and I mitigate that with my finger, right? So as an overall upgrade, is it way better? No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Are people
Well,
buying them? Yeah, I've already had some inquiries. They want it, right? But that's because they know that eventually their V2 remote's going to fail again.
I was literally about to say that. It's like if you like foil driving and you use it a lot and you would like to have it as a tool that it's accessible to you whenever you want it, just go ahead and buy a second controller because you're going to have a great day come where
So
you're out on a session and your controller, like the spring blows and you're out there and it doesn't work. Like, and then what do? You got to go call somebody and order it. It's like it's the piece that you know will break at some point because it just gets so abused.
Yeah.
But it's also really lightweight.
Yeah.
And easy, and I don't think that's worth the trade-off of durability, like because that's what makes the Foildrive remote so great. It's so small and fits in your hand, right? And,
no, but it is still super light. That
I know
hasn't
the new one is
changed.
too.
It's
Yeah,
not
I'm just
as
saying
light,
overall.
but it's super light. Yeah, it's not like the Toe Boogie one, you know. It's like this big square, like heavy. Same with the lift one. We were riding the Lift
Yeah, I
X.
know.
God damn, that remote is so big and heavy.
It's like an iPad, bro.
It looks badass, but I'm doing the same thing with it. Like,
no,
but
it's
I know
cool.
also the remote
dude,
must do some tracking and stuff. I don't know. I've got to look into it.
The video quality when you're watching movies on it though is super great. On the Lift X controller, the new Lift controller, like you can watch movies on it. So if you get stuck out there, you just bang out a few episodes of Seinfeld, you're stoked. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. So, what about let's go to talk about maybe last thing we talk about with Foildrive is I have never made the jump to the trench board. I almost did. I was so close to getting a 270 in the spring, and then summer hit, and I took off, and the board still hadn't showed up or whatever, and so I was like, whatever. Obviously, I saw some really cool stuff at AWSI. I mean, obviously the north board was looking really good. That MIDI, we saw the Axis, which I just love the looks of that. Just untinted carbon with that cool carbon cover they made on and stuff. So I mean, I'll probably try one this season, but you spent a lot of time riding both. I mean, is it the hack? Is that the piece that I'm probably missing to like optimize my Foildrive setup if I don't have a trench board?
I mean, 100%. I'm trying to figure out what's more important, the integrated mast or the trench board. Like if you had to pick one or the other, I don't know. I don't know what I do.
That's
really
me right now.
like
I have to pick one or the other or both.
I really like my Code integrated mast, and I'm not using a trench board. I really like my North Vert, except for the signal issues that I used to have with it. But now everyone knows that I drilled a hole in it, so that fixed that. But that's not really a consumer application. So, and I don't know. I don't know what I'd prefer. I know that when I get on a trench board and the way that you e-foil it and ride it out and the way that you're able to keep the board on the water without all this added drag, it feels like a relief. You're like, holy crap. Like you didn't know that you were counteracting so much drag, right? You're like, oh, I don't feel it because, I'm just like motoring around. But yeah, you're like all the micro adjustments and everything that you're doing to maintain yourself on foil. It's all that drag of the unit. When you take that away, it feels like butter, you're like just super smooth. Like butter, brother. And then so the Code mast is going to come out like either 11 centimeters or 17 for the pod, I'm riding a 17 centimeter, which is to the middle of the motor is where they're measuring it to. And I think if you're on a trench, then it's fine to be on a 11 centimeter, 12 centimeter motor pod cable. But if you're not, it is extremely difficult. If that motor is too close to your unit and you're not on a trench, because you have to, when you're not on a trench, you have to ride your foil.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more technical riding the Foildrive without a trench, right? Because you're not really riding the board flat. You can, but there's a lot of resistance there, so you're having to mitigate all of that. So you're essentially riding the motor, right? And keeping that motor in the water, but not keeping the board on the water. It's a lot of like finesse.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing that with an 11 centimeter pod, I mean, you've got to be riding the board. Like, there's just no way you keep that motor in the water and not have all that drag. So if you're on a trench board, definitely you can go short. But if you're not on a trench, you go that short, it is very hard.
Yeah, because I was set up.
It's not very efficient.
I've always been set up. I mean, I was putting that pod as close to my board as I could, which was, I don't know what the exact centimeters, but it's definitely less than 17 and maybe a little more than 11. But that was always the problem, right? Is like there was such a fine line between the motor being in the water and the board touching, right? Like it was either I was breaching the motor to keep from touching the board, or I was burying the motor, and then I was getting all the drag from the pod or from the whatever you want to call it, the battery box, right? So yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, that's kind of why I want to change to a trench. And then I always still want to have my motor very close to my deck because I want as much mass to play with when surfing, right? So whatever I have to sacrifice on that side, I'll do it so I have more surf performance. But I think there's no doubt a trench has got to be the next step. And then, man, the integrated mast, I don't know why I've held out so long. I guess because, again, shit's working. It's just like the controller. You're like, but I'm here to surf. I mean, at the end of the day, Foildrive to get me on foil when I surf. None of this affects how it feels when I'm surfing it, so does it really matter? I'll deal with whatever bullshit to get me onto the wave.
Sorry, did you say that why you haven't got an integrated mast or you haven't gotten a trench?
No, an integrated mast. Trench, yeah, whatever. I mean, I just didn't get around to it. But I've been holding off on the integrated mast because it wasn't a good one.
Well, it didn't exist.
Exactly. Well, unless I wanted to ride the aluminum North one, right? So.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, the integrated aluminum, cool, you put the cable, but it's the same pod. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
That is not an upgrade to me. That's almost a downgrade because you're stuck with that mast integrated with the same pod if you had a normal mast or not. So for me, the aluminum thing is kind of like with the pod, it almost feels like a downgrade. Like, I mean, who cares about? I mean, maybe if you're the e-foil application because you don't have to tape the whole thing, but if you're doing the assist, what's the point? Like, is that tape adding and the cable adding that much extra drag that you need it to be integrated? No.
And that's why I never did it. Because to me, the only time I was creating all that drag was when I was in the water. And to my point earlier, none of that really mattered. All I needed to do was get to the wave. And then as long as it felt, all I was worried about is how did it feel once I ollied up onto foil, right? The rest of it's like, well, I need it to work. I need to get out the back, but I can handle the draggy, and like I know it's that feeling of like you're kind of like tapping the brakes constantly, right, with that pod when it hits or when you have that battery pack. It's that drag, so you're constantly like, oh yeah, exactly. You're pushing forward and back all the time to kind of manage it as you bring it in and out. But
you're like that the cobra coming out of the basket.
That's right, dog. Just wiggle it up. That is kind of how I feel out there.
It's always just like, whoa.
Okay, here we go. And then you go on a foil and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gliding and surfing. So, yeah, foil driving's the shit, dude. It's so fun. I can't wait to get back to it. I haven't foil drived since May.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't foil drive a bunch for a while either, but then I got this code integrated mast and I was like, I got a foil drive now. And then I go out to our reefy spot out in front of the house. It's badass. Now I have the tow boogie, which is great. it's a little bit like
A lot
it takes a
to deal
little bit
with.
longer.
The
But at
whole
least I don't have
thing.
to think about charging batteries or doing anything. Like I went out, I charged it like a few days ago, went out for an hour session, turned off the battery, unplugged it, left it inside the boogie. Oh, I want to go for a session. Just turn on the battery, take out the boogie down to the beach, drag it back, wash off the propeller and spray it. Like it's very low maintenance as well. It's a little bit more, carrying shit, but it's pretty seamless. Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted everybody, whoever's listening to this podcast, to message Zero Toe, which is the Toe Boogie Instagram account, and say, do a podcast with the X-Foils. Let's see if he gets like 100 messages. Just everybody say, do a podcast with the X-Foils, because we want to hear the Boogeyman, what he's doing and what's going on. And he says he'll do it, but he's really busy. I think he probably just had a baby. He was going to have a baby. I don't know if it's happened yet. So he's a very busy guy, but I'm like, come on, give me an hour of your time. So everybody message him. And then if you message him 3 times. So just like multiplies, because everyone wants to hear from him, right?
Everybody should hear about the Toe Boogie.
I can't hear anybody.
Yeah.
I can't hear anybody.
Anyways,
So
yeah, dude. Toe Boogie is rad. I can't wait to spend more time on it this winter. I mean, I only had it for like 10 days before I left. Other than like hopping on Alon's, who got me turned on to it, I only had maybe 7 sessions on it. It was all I did the last 10 days, I didn't touch my Foildrive. It was just Toe Boogie every day. Man, so fun, so freeing, and a lot more responsibility. It is a ocean vessel. It is not a board you're riding. It's a fucking RC boat, basically. So you got to be like really careful and aware you can't use it in a lineup with a lot of people. And I think there's problems that could arise from it. But as far as the quality of the experience, how it feels out there, and how kind of a pretty well designed little rig as far as how it comes back to you. It almost has this, we're starting to see this robot AI world where you almost feel like it's your friend or your partner coming back to you, because it's always kind of coming and saving you out of the waves as you're waiting there. And I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I definitely think anybody who's excited about it, approach with caution and be like aware of the impact this can have to surf lineups and communities, and just create drama. So just be aware, make sure your Toe Boogie doesn't become a point for drama.
What's really cool is I can message him and be like, hey, there's this area, it's called La Ocho. There's a Toe Boogie out there. It's definitely just a local surf spot. No Toe Boogie should be there. He'll be like, okay. And he can geofence it and lock it so a Toe Boogie will not work inside a certain area.
Oh, so don't piss this guy off, or he can shut your brake down. That's kind of gnarly. Dude.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you know what? Shax is off limits now, and he can fence it and block it so you can't use your Toe Boogie in a certain area.
So it's kind of like if you get a Toe Boogie, you also get some kind of like parental oversight with it, where like you're gonna get grounded if you're not responsible. Yeah. So all you fucking Toe Boogie owners out there, be responsible, or I'm gonna make you go to your fucking room and I'm taking your TV privileges away.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, hey, I'll let you go back out in a week. I'm gonna lock it down for a little bit.
Think about what you did. Okay.
I had a call with Kahi.
Oh, when that
he got run over by the Toe Boogie.
Oh, I know.
So I'm like, send me a voice note. He's like, that. No, yeah. I prefer to just call you and you can record it. So he called me on WhatsApp. I'm like, how do I record it? He's like, just screen record. It'll record the call. I'm like, okay. And we talked for like 10 minutes, and then I looked for it yesterday, and I opened up the video. There's no audio on it, so it didn't record. Anyway,
we can he
I'm was riding the Toe Boogie.
I can lip read what he's saying if you want to play it for. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it wasn't a video call. It was like. Anyway, he got run over by the Boogie. Totally his fault. That he had it like on auto follow. He put it underwater. So it disconnected, and then it turned into manual mode. And when it's on manual mode, it's like a rocket ship. That thing's like, what? And he was just holding onto the trigger. It was coming straight for him, came up, held the trigger, and it like passed over him. He got some stitches. Luckily, he was okay. He was in
It's
a
like
rush.
5 minutes
He was
before he flew
distracted.
to Thailand, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if you follow him on
he was
Insta,
like,
it was a whole
he was
journey.
distracted by like a polluting boat, and it was just like it. I think he was just a little bit, not focused on what was going on. He had like someone with a drone, so he's like, okay, I got like an hour. Let's hurry. Let's go. He's like, fuck this boat that's polluting the water, and then got run over. And then he contacted Mark, and Mark's gonna fix whatever happened to him, whatever that issue was with the dunking and the disconnecting, turning into manual. He's going to make some adjustments to make it safer, right, and fix it. And it's really cool that he's open to feedback and he's so approachable. And it's going to be great when all of you guys message him and he gets onto the podcast.
Exactly, and we'll give more feedback to optimize this beautiful piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I want to say one more thing about this whole thing of getting run over by the tow boogie. Like, so the same time that happened, I got a buddy who had the same thing happen to him with his Foildrive, basically. Not the same problem of like going underwater, coming up, and still holding the trigger, because there's a lot of variance that happens there. But I think it's more about, he came up and like ended up squeezing the trigger by accident or something, right? When he's trying to grab it, it just shot up and like ran up his arm, right? And the prop just mangled his hand. I mean, 18 stitches, could have totally cut a tendon or something, right? And Kiahi got super lucky too. I mean, he got run over by the thing. He had cuts on his arm, his bicep, and it's amazing, like that ceramic blade, right, for the prop, or a aluminum or steel. I guess aluminum for Foildrive. Either way, super fucking sharp. So I just think it's one of those things where, man, we get so comfortable with these sports, and there's a certain amount of like innate comfortability you get with something as you get more used to it. And we all are aware of our foils are sharp, but now with these kind of motorized foil assist things, having a prop in the water with you so close, I mean, it's an unguarded prop. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of potential there, and it's really easy to be complacent. I know I've done it. I've never been hit by it. I've been really lucky to never have any experience where I did something where I accidentally squeezed the trigger or whatever. But man, you look at those moments when you're in the waves and you're getting rolled and you're trying to do stuff, and all it takes is squeezing the trigger at the wrong moment. So I don't know. It's just really good for us not to like lose the awareness, because it's just not worth some debilitating injury because you were too frothy. You didn't slow down. You kind of didn't separate the simplicity of walking into the water with a surfboard to the complexity of a motorized vehicle. It's like thinking that tow surfing is the same as a prone surf session. They're not. There are more consequences because you've got heavy equipment, you've got more potential to get yourself in trouble. So I don't know. It's just one of those things we're going to always run up into, and I just want people to have fun and not get hurt. So, just make sure we're all slowing down a little bit. Especially the guys we're talking about are badass watermen, both of them, Kiahi and the other dude who got hurt, right?
Yeah.
So this is a comfortability in the water and like performance thing.
Yeah. I am extremely aware of the propeller and the trigger. I am extremely scared. I figured it out the other day that every time I go foiling, I'm just scared shitless. Every time. Every turn I do, I'm like, I'm going to die. Like, I think I might die or something, or get cut by this thing. I am extremely aware of the trigger. Like, when I was doing that e-foil lesson yesterday with these three guys, every time I touch the board, I make sure the remote's off. Every time they get off the board, I'm like, is your remote off? I'm like, is your remote off? I'm like, hey, watch out for your trigger. Like, the amount of times I repeated that, and I did it with them because, of course, I don't want them to get injured. Like, then, I mean, that's horrible. I don't want to get injured. I'm extremely aware of that trigger thing, and it freaks me out.
Well,
I'm scared
not everybody
of
is
the
aware
motor.
of you. Yeah, but we're not all like that. I think we're such a spectrum, and I think depending the way your brain works, like I'm not as good about that. I have to work harder to be more
I know you're
thoughtful
not.
and aware. I know exactly. So I'm just saying I see how this happens, and I'm trying very hard not to be an Instagram story of my tow boogie running me over or my Foildrive like slicing my hand up, right? So this is just like the mental note to myself and all the people out there like me.
Yeah. I was on the tow boogie this morning and I lost my GoPro because of a stupid operation. Brand new GoPro. Lost my Insta and hood. Got a new GoPro. Used it twice because I just don't like taking my camera. Lost it. And after I lost it, tried to dive down with it. My leash, choked me, so I couldn't get to the bottom. I was like, there's no way I'm getting it. After that, I decided not to foil anymore. I was like, that's it. I caught one wave, lost my GoPro. I'm like, I feel a little bit like nerve wrecked and pissed off that I lost my camera. I just don't feel the headspace to be out here a mile offshore with my tow boogie and surfing on this razor sharp foil. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to head in because I know myself. Like that's when I'm just going to, get anxious or do a wrong turn and hurt myself. So I just quit the session, and I could be a baby for it, but that's just how I work.
Oh, but I think that's the whole point, right? I think it's
of
about
my mood.
It's about being aware. It's about being aware of the risk and your situation. These sports are just, I feel like we end up talking about this stuff a lot, but I think it's because we have to constantly, I have to constantly remind myself
this was supposed to be a 20-minute
podcast. Is it longer than that?
Yeah, it's been like an hour, I think.
Okay. Well, we should probably stop then. But
yeah, we went. We went.
But
we've got more to talk about. We
can
connect another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you can't. There's
talk
not
about safety enough.
You can never talk
safety third.
Yeah, of course.
Talk about it first. All right. It has been fucking awesome catching up.
Sure.
I am gonna book a flight like now to come ride that Manta because I'm frothing.
Yeah. Yeah, let's catch up again. I just wanted to get us after all those episodes. It's really nice to just catch up with you again and have a little banter. People are asking me questions about. I just didn't want it to all be about these new foils, but too bad.
Not everybody.
That's just
you all
what's
asked
happening.
for it.
That's what's relevant. That's what people want to know. And
if you wanted to hear about
people
something
ask
else,
for it. So
submit a question.
There are some other questions, but I mean, it's just a whole different subject, and it would take us hours to dissect a lot of this stuff. So, anyway, let's get back on. We'll get some guests because you're done traveling around in your van around the world.
Yeah,
so
and
you'll be somewhere
down in Puerto Rico
soon
too, which will be good.
And we've got some guests lined up, and then hopefully this gets uploaded because you're at 0% upload on your whatever crappy van Wi-Fi you've got. So
I am on the 5Gs. We'll figure that out. This will get uploaded, or it won't, and nobody will ever know we had this conversation. Either way, it was good talking, Dylan.
It was good talking. All right, thanks everybody.
Ew.
This is sponsored by me. Bye.